All right, let's get started. Small class today, but that's all right. We can do it. Oh, especially after Wednesday's workout. All right, so let's start with just shoulder circles in standing position, hands facing out. Big circles. Try and keep those hands facing out. Or palms facing out, I guess, would be a better way to say it. Start breathing, deep breath in, and let it go. Okay, shoulder rolls. Pretty basic movements to warm up the upper body. All right, shoulder rolls, other direction. Body in goalpost position, and just turn side to side, upper body, trying to keep the lower body from moving. And then we're going to go chin to chest. We're going to slowly go down to our toes. When you get down to your toes, I want you to just kind of hang from the hips. So slowly down. And just hang. And then nice and slow all the way back up. We're just getting started here. When you come to the top, push the top of your head towards the ceiling and your hands towards the floor. Stretch that neck. All right, we're gonna go right to the floor. So if you can, walk down on your hands all the way to the floor in a plank position. If you can't do that, just get to the floor somehow. Okay, so we're gonna go on our hands and knees for cat-cow, but and a tail wag, and if for some reason you can't go on your knees, or you need padding for your knees, the alternate position would be seated like this with your hands on the back of your legs. So when you do your cat-cow, you're going to straighten those arms, arch the back, and then when you go the opposite, chest forward and arch the back, lower back. And for tail wag, all you're doing is trying to push your ribs towards your hip. So you just go side to side. That's if you can't go on your knees, okay? Otherwise, hands and knees, starting with cat-cow today. So you're going to tilt those hip bones towards the ceiling and arch that back. And then hip bones towards the floor, tilting that pelvis, and your chest is going forward. And at all times, keep those arms straight. Let's go back and forth. So you can do this in the seated position if it bothers you to kneel on your knees. Or you can do this. Back and forth. You could even do a cat-cow in the standing position, just hanging on to like the edge of a sink or the back of a couch. As long as you're doing that pelvic tilt where you're moving the hip bones up and the hip bones down, chest forward. Okay, now just standard position, no cat-cow, and we're going to do a tail wag. So what you're trying to do is push your rib towards your hip. Rib towards the hip, and the hip towards the rib, and then do the other side. Pushing that rib and hip, you're trying to lessen the distance between them. This is so good for your lower back. One time my mom thought she put her back out, and I got her to do these movements, and it fixed her. Just something must have been hooked. Side to side. Tail wag. Okay, back to cat-cow. Let's do it again. Tilt that pelvis, arch that back. Hip bones towards the floor, chest forward. Alternate. All these simple stretches that just make the difference. We're going to have a lot of focus on the hips today. Just an FYI. Hips, neck, shoulders. Okay, back to center. Tail wag, so pushing that rib towards the hip on either side, alternating. Rib and hip are trying to touch. Imagine that. And again, some of you are on your hands and knees. You could also just put your hands on the back of your legs and move that rib towards the hip, either side. Lots of choices. So the next movement, if you, again, don't want to kneel, you can just put your opposite arm on that leg and twist your body and look behind you. That's the alternative if you don't want to kneel. Otherwise, I want you to put your right hand behind your back. And then I want you to turn your head and shoulder towards the ceiling, right side. Then push the shoulder towards the floor. Shoulder towards the ceiling, shoulder towards the floor. Just a little thoracic stretch. Shoulder up, shoulder down. Okay, let's switch sides. So left arm behind your head. Here we go. Shoulder up, and you can let your eyes follow if you like, or you can just keep your head down. Shoulder up, shoulder down. It's just a thoracic stretch. Again, if you're in the seated position, you're just twisting that body and looking behind you, putting your hand behind your back for stability. Keep going. Okay, just a little extra stretch here. Again, it's kneeling. I apologize for anyone that can't go on their knees. So the next position will be in a kneeling position. If you can't do that, then I want you to continue with that thoracic stretch in the seated position, except you're going to go cross-legged. You're going to put your arm on the opposite side and twist behind you. That's your alternative if you don't want to kneel. Otherwise, we're going to be kneeling. I'm going to put my left hand on my right thigh. I'm going to stretch that right arm all the way back behind me. And then I'm going to turn my head towards the opposite shoulder and stretch. Pretty simple, basic moves. This is stretching the neck and the shoulder and the thoracic all at once. Okay, switch sides. Right hand, left thigh. Left hand is going to extend all the way back as far as you can behind you. And then turn your eyes towards your right shoulder. Left hand is behind you. Eyes on the right shoulder, and just stretch that neck. And then we're going to have fun with our hips. My hips are one of my problem areas this week for sure. A lot of walking. Okay, so again, we're on our hands and knees. So the alternative for this is to put your legs in a 90-90 position, and you're going to put your chest down on your shin that way. Otherwise, a lot of hands and knees today. Usually I don't have this much, but I just like to give options in case you can't kneel. Okay, so we're in our hands and knees. I'm going to put my left leg up like a donkey kick, and then bring that hip, and I'm going to do a circle with my knee. Again, if you can't do this movement, you're doing your 90-90 hips stretch, where you're 90 degrees, just like this, just like you're running. And you're just going to put your chest down on that shin stretch. All right. So now you were doing that 90-90. Now you're going to go the other direction with that hip circles. Out. Just warming that hip up. And we're going to stretch it. We're going to go right into, I'm going to take that same left leg that I was turning circles. Now, probably everyone can do this pigeon stretch. So I have my leg bent so that when I straighten that back leg, I'm on my hands, my heel is on the opposite hip. So this is my left leg, so my heel is actually just below my right hip. I'm just going to push my body up and stretch. This is really good stretch for sciatica. And then I'm going to bring my arms down. I'm going to go all the way as far down as I can on the floor. And if you would like to, you take a deep breath in and let it go. You can even wiggle your hip side to side a bit and stretch it out. Side to side. And I'm going to bring my body back up again. Stretch. If for some reason this is uncomfortable, there's no reason you should have any major pain when you're stretching. So stop before that pain is. You know, like for example, you could just go on your forearms in this position. You could bring your knee up a bit. Just gonna try and stretch that lower back and the hip. Okay, let's try and stretch the other side. So again, you can't go on your hands and knees. You're gonna switch and face the other way with your 90-90 and put your chest on your shin. Otherwise, hands and knees. Put your right leg into a donkey kick and make circles with your knee. This is my angry hip. You can feel it, big difference. Okay, switch direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. I'm gonna come forward for that pigeon again, but now I have my right leg forward so that my right heel is right below my left hip. I'm just gonna stretch that other leg nice and straight as I can. You're just stretching the back of that hip. Go down to the floor. You can go down gently onto your forearms, or you could extend down, whatever's comfortable. You got to listen to your body. Deep breath in. Let your body sink into the floor. If you feel comfortable, you can wiggle your hips side to side. Keep breathing. Your body needs oxygen. Deep breath in. Let it go. Really feel this hip. Super angry. It's always one side that seems angrier than the other. There we go. Perfect. Come back up and hold. Imagine those hips and your lower back just sinking into the floor. You can just, I'm going to take a deep breath in. When I breathe out, I'm going to imagine where I'm feeling the pull and the stretch. I'm going to imagine just breathing right into that tightness. Breathe in. Just focused right on the stretch. Maybe then this hip won't be so angry with me. All right. Let's sit on the floor, butt cheeks down. I'm going to take, like if I was cross-legged, I'm going to take my right leg and set it down. So my heel is just below my left leg. Okay. And then I'm going to take my left leg. I'm going to put my foot on the other side of that knee. And I'm going to hug that knee into my chest. And if you want to add a little bit of a stretch, you could put your right hand behind your back and twist. This is all for the hips. I could feel this one hip just biting me. So I'm going to take a deep breath in. I'm going to breathe right into that stretch. Right where that muscle is pulling and tight, I'm going to breathe right into that. Now, if you could, putting your knee down on top of the other knee. But for me, my hips are so tight, there's no way I can do that. So I'm just going to hold this position and try to keep my feet parallel and pull my feet down. And if I can lean forward, I will do my best. But again, you can see I'm one of those people who has super tight hips and I cannot lay this knee on top of this knee. But if you can, you get a gold star. If not, just try and put your hands out front and slightly lean forward and stretch those hips. So after this stretch, I'm going to grab my band or my towel so I can stretch the back of my legs and my hamstrings. So just a heads up that when we're done with this one, we're moving on to the band or towel that you're going to use. You're going to need it to stretch that inner hamstring. That inner hamstring is another thing that causes sciatica and lower back tightness. Okay, let's unwind ourselves slowly, gently. I'm going to bring my left leg down to the floor now. I'm going to take my right foot and put it on the other side of my knee and hug it in. Hug it in. Whew. The side is so tight I can barely sit up. I'm going to take that deep breath in and let it go. This time I'll take my left hand, I'm going to put it behind my back and just twist and look behind me. Really trying to hug that knee into my chest if I can. All right, back to center. Remember what I said about if you can lay that knee down on the other knee, good luck. I can't even get close. But I'm going to try and push this bottom foot a little bit forward so my feet are kind of parallel. Whew, that's tight. Deep breath in. I'm just going to exhale right into that tight spot that's biting me. Deep breath in again. Relax. I'm just going to be super mindful of the resistance in my body. And just try to relax it with my breathing. Okay, unwind yourself. We're going to try some stuff lying on our backs now, but I want to grab my band before I start, or towel, you could use either. So just grab that and we'll do hamstring stretch. Whew. My hips are like, how could you do this to me? Last night when I got home, I had a long Epsom bath. What a difference. It's surprising how just getting magnesium into your body relaxes and soothes those tight muscles. All right, so I have my band or towel and I'm lying on my back. Both my knees are bent and my feet are flat on the floor. I'm going to take this band, I'm going to put it on my right foot. And then I'm going to straighten that leg out. And then pull that leg up towards my face best I can and stretch the back of that leg. I think I was sitting too close. I won't be able to do one of the stretches. For a bit. Whew. That is so tight. And I have my knee bent. That's crazy. I'm going to bring the leg down, straighten my left leg, and then I'm going to bring that right leg right back up again. Stretch that hamstring. The band is to protect you when we drop the leg out to the side, because like I said before, you should not go through extreme pain to stretch. You should stop and only go as far as your body allows without extreme pain. All right, so while I'm in this position, I want to point my toe to the ceiling, and then I'm going to point it to my face. So also you can imagine just pointing your heel to the ceiling and then your toe to the ceiling, alternating. Forward, back. So this is my right leg. So sometimes I like to take my left arm and put it straight out at my side, my palm on the floor, so I can anchor my shoulders down because I want my body to stay flat on the floor. And I'm going to drop my leg straight out to the side. Best I can. Nice. I'm just stretching that inner thigh, hamstring, the culprit for so many problems, for knees, hips, sciatica, lower back. I'm just going to let that leg kind of hang out to the side, but I'm using the band so I don't hurt myself and go too far. I'm going to let gravity just do the work. So deep breath in, let it go. Wherever you're feeling that pull, imagine breathing that breath out into that pull and relaxing it. Deep breath in, fill up those lungs, fill up your tummy, and breathe out into that stretch. Again, breathe in, nice deep, deep breath. Let it go. Let's try one more breath, but this time we're gonna breathe in for 3, hold for 3, and then breathe out for 4. Here we go. Breathe in, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Again, breathe in, 2, 3, breathe out, 2, 3, 4. I did it wrong. I forgot to hold. There was somebody at my door. It distracted me. Okay, try it again. Breathe in. 2, 3, hold. 2, 3, breathe out. 2, 3, 4. If you ever feel stressed or anxiety, that's called box breathing, and it's actually really good for anti-stress. All right, I'm gonna bring this foot up, take the band or towel off, put both my hands, palms down out on the sides of my body, and I'm gonna drop that leg across my body towards the floor, keeping my shoulders square. Perfect. That is one heck of a stretch, I tell you. You don't even realize until you do it. And Then I'm gonna bend my knee to 90 degrees, and I'll take my opposite hand, which is my left hand, and I'm gonna put it on that knee and just pull it a little extra of a stretch. And if you're feeling super adventurous, you can take the other hand and grab that other foot and go into the pretzel position. So now I'm pulling both my legs in different directions. My right hand's pulling my left leg or left heel towards my glute or butt. And then my left hand's pulling that right knee towards the floor. And my shoulders are square on the floor. Sometimes when I do this, I get a spasm or a cramp, so I straighten out and then I just go right back into it. And it usually works. Don't forget to breathe. All right, let's go back to center. And we're gonna switch legs. So now both my feet are bent on the floor. I'm gonna take my towel or band. I'm gonna put it on the left foot. Straighten that leg right out and bring it up as far as I can comfortably and stretch the back of that leg. And I'm going to straighten that leg down, straighten my right leg down, and then bring that left leg back up again. Whew. Big difference when the other leg is straight. Point my toe towards the ceiling, and then my heel towards the ceiling, hinging at the ankle, stretching that calf out. Forward, back. And then I'm going to take my right arm, because I have my left leg up, and I'm going to anchor that right arm on the floor with my palm down as I drop my leg straight out to the side. Whew, that's tight. Deep breath in. Breathe into that stretch. Keeping those shoulders on the floor. Nice stretch of that inner hamstring, the culprit for many problems. You'll find that when you drop that leg out, your knee tries to bend. So if you have to reset and straighten that leg and bring it back down again, go ahead. That's what I just did. It helps if you push your toes towards your face a bit. Get that stretch. Let's do a couple of those box breathing, where we breathe in for 3, hold for 3, and breathe out for 4. Here we go. Deep breath in, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, breathe out, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Deep breath in, 2, 3. Hold, 2, 3. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna bring that leg straight up. Take the band or towel off. Leg drops across your body to the floor. I have both my hands out on the floor so I can anchor my upper body to not go anywhere. Just letting gravity do all my stretching today. Now bend that knee to 90 degrees. You can take your right hand and put it on that left knee. Help anchor it down. Don't forget to keep your shoulders square on the floor. And if you like, you can go into a pretzel, grab that other foot, or you could just stay in that other position with your legs straight. That's up to you. So the more you pull that foot towards your butt cheek and that knee towards the floor, the bigger the stretch. And don't forget to take in a deep breath. Let it go. Man, this class went fast today. I really focused on the hips because we did a lot of leg work on Wednesday. I figured you'd be all wound up by now. I know I am. We're going to do a quick shoulder stretch before this class ends today so we can end thoracic spine, which is the spine where your ribs are. And then I'll see most of you on Monday for your workout. Okay, let's lie on our side. Arms straight out. So my knees and hips are parallel. My arms are straight out. And I'm going to take those two hands. The top hand, I'm going to go all the way back to the floor behind me. And then forward back again. This is called an alligator for obvious reasons. Big alligator mouth. Stretching back and forward. Now when you're doing this and you're putting your hand back, I want you to reach your arm and make it as long as you can and reach out. Stretch. Imagine lengthening those muscles. Stretching that shoulder. Stretching your mid-spine. Reach away from your body. Reach. Forward. That's just right. I remember when I used to do this class during COVID, and every time I heard someone at my door, I was so excited because I knew I got addicted to ordering packages for a while there. It's funny. Reach. Okay, I'm going to take my bottom hand. I'm going to support my head and neck, so nice and comfortable. And I want to do a shoulder sweep. And remember, do not push through pain. Like for example, if you can only go to your ear, then just go to your ear, don't go further. You can have your thumb towards the floor, probably about 3 inches or so above the floor, and you're going to hover that thumb all the way up. We're going to do the shape of a rainbow. So you're going to go past that ear if you can, and behind the back, and you have to twist your wrist to keep that thumb towards the floor in the back of your body. And then once you've made half circle, you're going to come all the way back to front again. And again, if some reasons you don't have that range of motion in your shoulder, you're going to stop where your range of motion is. Say it's here, and then you'll come back to front. And if you keep doing that, eventually your range of motion will open up a little bit further each time. Could take doing this exercise a few times a week. This is how I healed my torn shoulders when I had that accident. My shoulders were all messed up and sore and injured. This is how I fixed them. One of the things I did, anyways. It was a lot of slow strengthening, but I rebuilt them. I rebuilt my whole body, actually. All right, thumb towards the floor. We're going, when I go to the back, I have to turn my wrist so I can keep my thumb towards the floor. Good shoulder sweep. Perfect. Nice relaxing class. Love it. Let's just do the other side. All right. Then I'll send you on your way to enjoy your weekend. Okay, knees and hips parallel. Both hands extended out front. We're doing the alligator stretch first. So I'm going to take that top arm and go all the way to the floor behind me. And then forward again. And again, I'm reaching that hand away from my body, making those muscles super long as I stretch back and forward. All these simple stretches can make quite a difference in your body. Some of them are complicated because they're new to you, but after you do them a few times, then your body starts to loosen up and lengthen those muscles. All right, reach away, reach, stretch. Back to forward. Take that bottom hand, support that head and neck. Thumb hovering above the floor. I'm going to do the shoulder sweep. So only go as far as your body allows. Oh, this shoulder is naughty. Trying to keep that thumb towards the floor. I'm just doing a half circle. My hand does not cross over my body. It's just like the shape of a rainbow. Above the head, behind the back, and back to front. I turn my wrist to keep that thumb towards the floor when I get behind my body. Oh, the shoulder sure needed this one. Don't forget to breathe. Nice relaxed deep breathing during stretching actually makes it a lot better. Lets those muscles let go a bit. They need oxygen. All right, back to front. We're going to push ourselves up and come to the standing position. We're going to do one more toe touch before I cut you loose. All right. Sometimes I like to do the toe touch at the beginning and the end because then you can feel some of the difference of the stretching that you did. So chin to chest and just run those hands down those legs nice and slow towards the floor. And then when I get to my feet or the floor, I just kind of let my arms hang a bit. Maybe tuck them under my toes, depending how far down you are. For me, I always keep a slight bend in my knees just because I've had issues with them and I don't like how they feel when they hyperextend. So I always just keep a little slight bend in my knees. And then nice and slow all the way back up. All the way to the top. Push the top of your head towards the ceiling and your hands towards the floor. Stretch that neck. That's it. I'd keep you longer, but I'm sure you all want to get started with that wonderful weekend.